Hi there, welcome to the podcast on monomial/binomial factoring. Some books call it monomial, some books call it binomial, depends on what book you're looking at, so I called it both. Binomial factoring is a way to take apart an expression to find out what its factors are. If you remember, factors are part of a multiplication problem, so at the end we'll have two things multiplied together to give us a product. So here we go. Really, factoring is just undoing distribution. So we know how to distribute. So let's say we're to have this problem 3x times 2x minus 5, and we wanted to distribute it. We start with, this is a product to start off with. So this is really 3x times 2x minus 5. To do that, we know how to do that. We're going to take 3x times 2x, which gives us 6x squared, and then 3x times negative 5, which is negative 15x. And so that is called distribution. What I want to teach you guys today is how to undo that. So how do I go from 6x squared and get to a point where I have 3x times 2x minus 5. So let's learn how to do that. So I'm going to start with 6x squared minus 15x. Well, the way that I started, I'm going to look for factors of each term. So my terms are 6x squared and negative 15x. What goes into both 6 and 15? I start with my numbers. What goes into both 6 and 15? Well, I know they're both divisible by 3, so I'm going to write a 3 out here. And then I look at my variables. I have an x squared and an x to the first. If you don't see the 1, you always put it up there. And I always take the smallest exponent. So I have a 2 and a 1, so I'm going to take my smallest, which is x to the 1. If I were to have bigger ones, if let's say we're to have 6x squared minus 15x to the fourth, let's say, and I'm going to write 3x. What's my smallest term out here? Actually, this time it's the 2, because 2 is smaller than 4. I'd write that out there. But that wasn't the case. Just to prove a point. So now what I do is I write a parentheses. Inside the parentheses is going to be as many terms as I had originally. So I have 2 terms. So I should have 2 terms inside of this parentheses. And I divide. So I'm going to divide 6x squared minus 15x by 3x. So 6 divided by 3 is 2. X squared divided by x to the first. How do I do that? X squared divided by x to the first. I just subtract my exponents. 2 minus 1 is 1. So x to the first. So I write a 2x out here. Then I do the same thing with 15. Negative 15 divided by 3 is negative 5. X to the first divided by x to the first is x to the 0. If you don't know, it's just 1, so I don't have to write anything down. They just kind of cancel each other out. So I got 2x minus 5. And let's check that. So I ended up with 3x times 2x minus 5. I have 2 things. Here's my first thing times my second thing. So 3x times a quantity 2x minus 5. That's what I started with, and so that's what factoring is. I'm going to do 2 more examples. You might want to pause on the examples and see if you can do it, and then check to see with the work that I do. So my next one, 28x squared minus 32x. Alright, so I want to ask myself, what numbers go into both 28 and negative 32? Sometimes it's hard to tell. So we can just pick numbers that we know and then keep on going from there. So I know that both 28 and 32 are even, so they're both divisible by 2. So I'm going to start with 2. So 2. One has an x squared, one has an x, so they both have x's in them. The smallest power is x to the first, so it's going to be 2x, and then I divide. So 28x squared divided by 2x. 28 divided by 2 is 14. And x squared divided by x to the first is going to be x. And then 32. So negative 32 divided by 2 is negative 16. X to the first and x to the first cancel each other out. So there. I'm not done yet. I noticed 14 and 16 are still even, so I can pull another 2 out. A lot of times we'll say pull a number out, meaning what number goes into both 14 and 16. So 2x can pull another 2 out, so I just write times 2, and I draw another parentheses. 14 divided by 2 is 7x, and negative 16 divided by 2 is negative 8. 7 and 8, there's no other numbers that go into both of those two. So on the outside, I just multiply it out. So this is going to be 2 times 2 is 4x times 7x minus 8. And I like to throw my 2 parentheses in there so I can see clearly that this is 2 things multiplied by each other. So now I'm in factored form. 4x and the quantity 7x minus 8. When I multiply them together, give me the quantity 28x squared minus 32x. I could have, if I would have seen it in the beginning, 28x squared minus 32x. I could have pulled a 4 out right in the beginning if I would have seen it. And that would have given me the same number. So if I divide everything by 4x, that gives me 7x minus 8. Same. Okay. Now let's do one more. Alright, so the next one we're going to do is 54v squared plus 180v. So here we go. What numbers go into both 54 and 180? You could start, if you would have noticed, they're both even. I've also noticed that 54 and 180 are both divisible by 3. I also noticed that they're both divisible by 9. So I'm going to start with 9. 9 is the biggest number I've seen. 9. And then they both contain a v. The smallest v power is v to the first. So v. I'm going to have 2 terms in here. So divided both by 9v. 9 goes into 54 6 times. V squared divided by v to the first is just a v. And then, what happened here? So 9v. So 180 divided by 9 is 20. So plus 20. And v to the first divided by v is just cancels out. Oh, notice they're both even on the inside as well, 6 and 20, so I can pull out a 2. So 9v times 2, and I got by 2. 6 divided by 2 is 3, so it's 3v. 20 divided by 2 is 10. 9 times 2 is 18. V times 3v plus 10. And again, I like to draw my parentheses at the end so I can see clearly. I have 2 things multiplied by each other, so therefore it's factored 18v and the quantity 3v plus 10. Alrighty. Alright, so I wanted to show you this last example because I want to see what happens when one term kind of goes away, or the coefficient goes away. So I have 12x squared plus 96x. What number goes into both 12 and 96? And actually it's going to be 12. 12 goes into 12 one time, 96 8 times. So my variable is going to be x. The smallest power is going to be 1. So divide everything by 12x. So when I do that, I have 12 divided by 12 is 1. X squared and x to the first plus 96 divided by 12 is 8. X's cancel out, so I'm left with 12x times x plus 8. Is it okay that I drop that 1? Yeah, it's okay to drop that 1. Actually, I prefer it. You don't have to write the 1s as coefficients either. If you do, it's not wrong. It's perfectly acceptable. It's just not common practice. What two things do I have? I have two factors. I have 12x and I have x plus 8. Those are my two factors. It's in factored form. Alright, I think you guys are ready to try your homework. Good luck.